They swept them.
Uh-huh.
Like, they swept the Orioles.
Yeah, like 3-0.
Swept them. Wasn't it totally over like a week ago?
Brother, man, there is a reason that on brand is basically this channel's catchphrase at this point. You know it, I know it, they know it.
I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 78 of the regular season, where the Astros win 8-1 over the Baltimore Orioles, sweep the Baltimore Orioles, and find themselves but 2 games back of 500. Like, during a week, and during a little stretch over the weekend, where the Rangers go on a 4-game winning streak, and the Astros stare down one of the best teams, maybe the best team in all of baseball, they find a way to sweep them. They find a freaking way to sweep the Orioles. And in convincing fashion, might I add. The closest game was a 3-run victory. Like, that's still a pretty good win. Now, granted, it was 14-11, so you have that caveat. Very easily could have been 11. Like, very easily could have been an 11-run win. If it weren't for that stupid inning. I am speechless. I really am. Because following the past little run of it, especially that game against the White Sox, it felt very different. The White Sox game felt like it was the line in the sand. And I think I was correct. Like, I think I'm right that it was a line in the sand. I just don't think I was correct with whose line in the sand it was. It was my line in the sand because it's the White Sox. How are you not going to go in there and just absolutely handle business, sweep them? Don't even make it look competitive. Just genuinely, and I understand they're a professional team, just embarrass them. Like, simply embarrass them, and they didn't. They won 2 games that were both kind of contested, and they get shut out in the first one. And I look ahead and I go, you got Baltimore coming up. You're probably going to lose a couple of those games. There's definitely no way you sweep the series. You might win it. And I complained and talked about, oh, well, the bad teams find ways to win or lose games that they should win. Yuck, 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 yuck. Everything that I said about that first White Sox game, I stand by. I was not incorrect. It was my line in the sand. Now, I think people can look at that and go, ha, only a week ago you were losing your mind and saying it was over. What this series tells me is that it was the Astros line in the sand as well. This is a really, really good opponent. This wasn't that you win 2 of the 3 and the third one's a competitive loss. This isn't you win 1 of the 3, but the other ones are 2 hard-fought games. No, you kind of, like, punked and bullied and stole the lunch money of maybe the World Series pick right now. Like, you kind of took them to the absolute cleaner. Like, at any moment, the Astros are going to be receiving a call from a dry cleaner in Houston saying, hey, the Orioles are ready to be picked up. It was that bad. And yesterday was more of the same. The offense was fantastic. 8 runs on 15 hits, a 4-run first inning. The infield and Yainer Diaz, so again, kind of the infield? He's not in the outfield, if you want to look at it like that. He's infield adjacent. Go crazy. Altuve had a pair of base hits, a pair of runs scored, an RBI, home run off the first at-bat of the game, because of course Jose Altuve did that. You had Alex Bregman with a 4-hit game with a pair of runs scored. You had Yainer Diaz with a 3-hit day and a sac fly with 3 RBIs and a couple of runs scored. You had Jeremy Pena with 3 hits and 3 RBI. You can throw it in there, Mauricio Dubon with a hit and an RBI. Nothing wrong with that. The infield was fantastic. You put up 4 in the first inning, guys. The offense looked great. Like, they put up 8 runs, they still somehow went 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position. But I don't look at that and go, they missed their chances. They had a lot of sac flies. They had a lot of really efficient outs. And when you win 8-1 over a team like Baltimore, I'm not going to nitpick that. It was productive. It was a great game offensively. And then you can look at the pitching staff. Fromber pitched really, really well. And he has been up and down. This is an up. 7 innings of 1-run ball, gave up a home run, the only mistake, with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. That's just a really nice, tight, neat game of baseball from Framber Valdez. Then you get to the bullpen, which is kind of weird because noted pitchers for this team, apparently, Brian King and Luis Contreras, pitched a pair of shutout innings with a strikeout. I believe they're Astro debuts for the both of them. I believe the MLB debut for Luis Contreras, and it might have even been Brian King as well. I'm going to double check that. That's how bad it was. Yeah, back-to-back MLB debuts against a team like Baltimore is crazy, and that says a lot. That's how over it was. They threw out two kids making their debuts in a series where the bullpen was depleted. They were able to get such a lead. They didn't have to overwork guys. That was the line in the sand. They found a way to match up against possibly the best team. And I will continue to say possibly because the Yankees and Phillies both deserve a lot of respect. And they blew them to hell. They didn't win the series. They didn't get a close... They blew them away. That's the Astros that can do stupid things. That's the Astros that can go on long runs. And you got it from everywhere. The first game was offense from everybody. The second game was offense from a lot of the outfield. Yesterday was offense from the infield pretty much exclusively. You had a couple of dominating games by pitchers. You had a game where the offense had to bail everybody out. And when they look like that, it's when everything is working together. It's when the offense can pick up the pitching and the pitching can pick up the offense. And it's when they work in unison that you get games like Saturday and Sunday, where they put one run on the board. Now after that, you get a day off on either side of this little miniature Rocky series in Minute Maid Park. The first game is going to be tomorrow night, 8:10 Eastern, 7:10 Central. The Astros are going to send Hunter Brown to the mound, and the Rockies are going to send Austin Gomper to the mound. I'll be here afterward to talk about it, but as for right now, that's all I have to say. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.